It is the 7th of October. This is Rabbi Furst, Mishna Berura.
Okay.
Good morning again. This is Rabbi Shlomo Furst here. Shiva Samanavshid, our second shir in Mishna Berura. We're learning about the Siyas Kapayim, the Berachos Kohanim, and Mishna Berura, beginning of the second volume, Siman Kuf Chav Chet, Siman 128. Go ahead, Mayor Phelan.
Kuf Kaf Ket, you said?
Yes.
Yeah.
I thought we were on Kuf Pei Aleph. We moved? Kuf Kaf.
Very beginning of the second volume. Take your second volume, very beginning of the second
Very
volume.
beginning, okay.
Okay, that's at Aleph. Okay, you see it, Kapayim. You have it, Lou?
Just about. Oh, it's the first page. Okay. Got it.
Okay, so it says, Ein Nesiyat Kapayim b'pachot me'asara hakohanim meha minyan. Okay, so you can't do, I guess, the duchen Nesiyat Kapayim with less than 10.
Right.
And with the Kohanim are included in the minyan?
Yes, and the Kohanim are included in the 10 of the minyan.
Okay. So then the question is, what happens when there are only 10 Kohanim in the minyan?
Right.
That's a tough question.
Yeah, that's taken up the Mechaber will deal with that. The Gemara spoke about that, and the Mechaber will deal with that question. If you have a base Knesset that's entirely made of Kohanim.
Okay, very good.
I don't get it. What would the issue be there?
Well,
Go ahead.
No, I was just thinking, if you have a minyan of 10 Kohanim, okay, now usually when you go up to Duchen, the Shliach Tzibor says each word before the Kohanim repeat, and then the Kohanim repeat it.
Right.
And I think that was so that if maybe there was an ignorant Kohen or something, that he would still be able to do the Nesiyat Kapayim, because
Right.
he can hear the word. So if the congregation is only made up of
Right.
10, who is going to announce the words to the Kohanim?
Oh, I see.
Right. Yes, no, we'll take that. We'll take that question up later on.
Okay, good. Okay, then the Haggai, I guess it's small print. So the Ein Lizar Lusa Kapir Afilu Im Kohanim Acherim.
Right.
And in this
Azar,
case, the Zar is one who's not a Kohen.
yes, yeah, Azar in this case is of someone who's not a Kohen, exactly.
Okay, so he doesn't I guess lift Kapir on his hand, I guess.
That's literally what it's talking about, the lifting of the hands. I mean, that's what the Kohanim do at the time when they're giving the bracha. So Azar, someone who's a non-Kohen, cannot participate in the bracha of the Kohanim, even if other Kohen are giving the bracha along with him. He cannot do it.
Okay. And then it looks like it gives the source, but Perech Bet the Ketuvot. Oh, that's the Gemara in Ketuvot, I guess.
Right.
Okay.
I'm a little confused. What does it mean? Even with other Kohanim? What's the Hava Mina?
let's continue. Look at that parentheses of the small print. Perish based the kasubas. The czar over ba'ose, right? That the czar is going to do the Birkas Kohanim. He's transgressing a positive commandment.
Oh,
Right. Well, why would I think that he could do it with other Kohanim?
historically, Lou, in the Middle Ages, I think I read this, there were people who moved to new communities, and because for some reason they wanted status, they presented themselves as Kohen, even though they really weren't.
Oh,
So that could be one answer. Maybe even in biblical times they did that. I don't know.
Right. You could continue on because there's a machlokas about this. Continue on in the.
Okay, so the Zarve I say Tosafot Perek Kol Kitve.
Kisvei, right? Kol Kisvei.
Kol Kisvei. Okay. Lo Yada.
We're right in the beginning of Bays.
Yes, right. In the Halik base, the second volume, Mishna Berura, right there in Kuf Chav Ches, Siman 128. We're in the small print in the first secret.
Kuf Chav Ches.
Yes.
it's the first page, Barry.
Pardon me?
First page of the second book.
Kuf Chav Ches, you said? Ches?
Yes.
Okay, I'm sorry. I didn't hear that. Okay.
We're in the second line of the small print
Okay.
towards the end. The Tosafot Perek Kol Kitvei Lo Yada Ri Ma Isur Yesh Bizar Ha'oleh. So the Re doesn't understand why a non-Kohen can go up to do the
He doesn't understand what the Isser is.
Oh. And the Efshar, the Im Kohanim Acherim Sharei B'tzarech Iyun.
It's possible if there are going to be other Kohanim there, it could be that it's permissible.
Oh.
What is Sharei?
Shari meaning it's permissible.
Oh, that's interesting.
Right.
So in essence, the non-Kohen is non-effective, even if he goes up.
Right. He doesn't add in, doesn't detract. Perhaps it's not 100% clear, but we'll see. Mr. Berura will go into details about this.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess we're at that point.
So
So
the
we're
Re is
at
saying
this.
that, so the Re is saying that he doesn't understand why it's not why it's a problem if the Czar goes up with other Kohanim.
Right.
Keduchen.
Right.
Keduchen in shul. Yeah.
Exactly, right. Okay, before we start the Mr. Berura, there's the Mr. Berura in the Bir Halacha gives us a slight 3-line preface to the whole mitzvah over here. Right.
Oh,
this is Kasab B'Sefer Charedim. That's by the first Bir Halacha there.
okay. Katab b'sefer Haredim mitzvata say levarech Kohen et Yisrael. So it's a positive commandment for the Kohanim to bless it, Yisrael. Sheneamar ko tivarchu et b'nei Yisrael, as it is stated in Torah, I guess. Thus, they blessed the children of Israel.
Right.
Okay. The Yisrael ha'omdim panim keneged Pnei HaKohanim B'shtika. Okay, so and Israel stood.
We know that the members of the non-Kohanes, the Yisraelim, the non-Kohanes.
The Kohen stood. Seems face to face with the Kohanim, but quietly, b'shtika.
Right.
Okay, so they didn't say anything. Umikavnin libam lekabel barachatam kidvar Hashem.
Oh, so they were trying to get a bracha. They weren't giving anything out.
Right.
This is what you're supposed to do when the Kohanim are giving their brachas. You're supposed to stand there facing them and be quiet and mechaven to get their bracha.
Yeah, your heart should have kavanah to receive their bracha.
Right.
As is stated, I guess, by Hashem.
Yeah.
Which is in the Torah. Okay.
Right.
Heimnami biklal hamitzvah adkan lishono v'heviuhu ha'achronim. So when they heimnami, they the
Yisraelim were also included in the mitzvah as well.
Oh, okay.
With the others,
Excuse me?
they're included with the others.
They're included in the mitzvah.
So receiving the blessing is also a mitzvah then.
Right. So the Yisraelim, when they're standing there and the Kohanim are giving out their bracha, the Yisraelim stand there and they're receiving the bracha, and that's part of the mitzvahs also. The bracha has to be given to somebody. You give the bracha and you get the bracha. Giving the bracha is a mitzvah and getting the bracha is a mitzvah.
What would happen if there was a family of Kohanim that were all together davening in shul? So how do they do this then?
So we're going to discuss the case when you only have let's say it's a whole minyan and it's only made of kohanim. There's no
right.
There's no. Yeah,
what do you do?
Yeah, that'll be discussed. We'll take that up in good time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was wondering the same thing, Barry. So.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's important to know. The Yisraelim, when they're standing there and the Kohanim are giving out their brachas, the Yisraelim, by being quiet and standing face to face with the Kohanim, right? They also should have in mind that the bracha that's given by the Kohen, they're doing a mitzvah, the Kohanim, by giving the bracha, and the Yisraelim, by receiving the bracha, they're also doing a mitzvah. Okay, let's see the Mishna Berura and Sifkat and Aleph.
Okay.
Sifkat and Aleph. Okay.
Ein v'chulei. So that's ein nesiyat kapayim, I guess. The pachot me'asara. V'dino v'chol davar kimo shemivoar la'ayl b'siman nun het. Okay, so, and its law, I guess with all its aspects, will be explained, or was explained in Siman Nun Het, which is what, 55?
Yeah, so we had that earlier. That was the Indian Kaddish, meaning
Indian Kaddish.
That's where it's explained what the requirements are for a minyan. You need 10 males, 10 Jewish males that are above the age of 13 years in a day. That's what consists of a minyan. That's what's explained over there in Nun Hey.
Ah, okay.
Are we going to get eventually to this business of underage boys getting up to duchen also?
Yeah, that'll be discussed. We'll discuss that too. Yeah.
That would maybe come under Chino, though, right?
Right. That's all question. What them giving the bracha? It's a question of because
okay.
But they should know. Yeah. Well, the point. Okay, we'll get to it.
Yeah. Okay. V'ayin sham b'Mishna Berura seif katan lamed gimel. Okay, so seif lamed gimel ma shekatavnu b'shem hapri megadim de mistapek le'inyan yashen im mitztaref. Okay, so what is written, I guess, there by the pre-Megadim, the mis tapek. He's not confused.
No, that he's in doubt, that the Pri Megadim isn't in doubt, but eating Yashin, if a person is sleeping, let's say you have 9 people who are awake, and you have one person
Oh,
sleeping.
that's very interesting because that's even a question about a minion too, then, not just.
Yeah, that's involved, the whole question of a minion for sure.
What is mitzaref?
Excuse me?
What's the word mitzaref?
It's there if he combines, if he's combining to the minion, a person who's sleeping, can you count them in as part of the minion?
Ah.
I wonder if that includes daydreaming too.
So the question is that you need a minion for the Kohanim to give the bracha, right?
Right.
So and that includes the Kohanim, right?
That's right.
So if one of the people is sleeping, that's the question. If he's sitting among the non-Kohanim, is he counted for the 10 to get the bracha? For everybody to get the bracha?
The Kohanim go ahead and give the bracha if one of the people in the audience is sleeping.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's the question.
Okay.
Yesh omrim de'enis yakapayim ela b'makom sheyesh sefer Torah. Oh, that's interesting. So
Right.
some say that you only do the duchenin in a place where there's a sefer Torah.
Yeah, so that's something to bear in mind sometimes. Now,
So
yeah.
when a father gives a child a bracha on Erev Shabbos, it's basically the same bracha.
Yes.
Yivarecha Hashem v'yishmerecha. But it's not considered Nesiat Kapayim.
Right, exactly. There are some that are careful not to pick up the hands and put them on the child's head because it may look like Nesias Kapayim. So they only do it with one hand.
One hand, right.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Okay, I see.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Aval rov achronim v'kimat kulam cholkim al zeh. Okay, but the majority of the achronim, what all of,
and almost all of them, Kimat Kulam, and almost all of them.
okay, made a decision on this.
The Cholkim, they argue on this, meaning
Argue cholkim.
you don't have to have a Sefer Torah for them to bench.
Okay. Yeshomrim, Demisha ba ba'amar kohenani ne'eman lisa kapav v'kain haminhag. There's some that say that if someone comes, and says, I am a Kohen, he's believed to do the dochenim.
Right, Yeshom Midain, right.
Oh, that's interesting.
Right. That's all.
They allow him to go up, even if he's unknown.
Right.
You come to a community, I guess, and no one knows you.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
Right, if you're visiting someplace for Yontif, right?
right. Or you're a merchant and during the week, or
Yeah.
you go to a
Yeah.
shul, no one knows you.
Yeah, and then you don't even, I mean, I'm not a Kohen, so I don't know, but I don't think they, when they're washing people's hands, does the Levi ask you, are you a Kohen? He never saw you before. You're a Kohen? And let me see your Kav Yarok, your green card, or whatever you have there.
I've been asked by the Gabbai,
Yeah.
are you a Kohen, a Levi, or a Israel?
Yeah, because that's sometimes relevant
course.
for an Aliyah. Sometimes
Yeah,
he's
for an
interested
Aliyah.
in being a person in Aliyah, so he wants to
Right.
know. But a person, when it comes to the duchening, I don't think there's no cross examination ever given there.
Right. Well, I mean, I would presume if I say I'm a Kohen, he would say, fine, he would believe me.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
right.
That's what it says here. You believe them.
Right. No. There's no reason why he's you don't really suspect people of lying over these things. Okay, let's continue.
Okay, so bet Meha Minyan.
Right, and he said that the Kohanim are also combining to make the 10 of the minyan.
Okay.
Hmm.
Lafisha. Okay.
But can I just interject something? I once had a situation in our community where a Kohen married a Ge'eris,
Right.
right? Unknowingly, he didn't know that it was a problem.
Right.
So he got a tshuva that said, excuse me, Mayor, but they said a lot of people are really today not Kohanim. And he told the man, he said, give up your kahuna and you can stay married to her. He didn't do that, but that's what the Rav said. You're probably not, he said, basically, you're probably not a Kohen. And so just give it up and that's, end of the problem.
Mhm.
Well, that's true. I mean, that's what we were talking about before. Historically, people just made that up to get the status of the.
Really?
Yeah, and if you read Jewish history books, I've read about that, where a person would come to a community either to live or a merchant selling his goods, and he goes to shul and he says, "I'm a Kohen." Who knows one way or the other?
Right.
And then he's
Right.
believed, according to this.
Yeah. So then what? So then he lives there and he marries someone and then.
Well, the example you gave,
Yeah.
that could happen. And I guess if it's found out he's not a Kohen, then
he came from a family of Kohanim.
he was a Kohen.
He was known as a Kohen.
And
his family came from Europe, and he was known as a Kohen.
Okay.
Right.
But the Rav said, more than likely you're really not a Kohen, so just give up your kahuna, and you won't get the Aliyah, and you'll be in Israel, and end of the problem.
Right. When it comes to Pidyon Ben, so there are only a few. Not every Kohen is usually picked to receive the 5 siloim, the 5 coins in the midst of Pidyon Ben. They usually have a select few which have liturgy, which dates back to medieval times, which in many cases helps prove the point that they're authentic Kohen. Right?
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. How was it proved they're authentic?
They usually have documents. For example, I know one Kohen that he has a copy of a kasuba of, I guess, his great grandmother, dating back to Amsterdam about 1400s or something like that. And it says there that it mentions there the name of the husband, HaKohen, right? So You
Yeah.
know, they usually have verifiable documentation.
But now even today, isn't there a DNA test that can be taken? Don't they have such a thing that the Kohanim have a certain DNA?
Yeah, you have to check into that, if that's true, number one, and how accurate it is.
It's not conclusive.
It's not?
Yeah.
Uh,
Remember you gave me that article, Rabbi?
Yeah, I remember. That's right.
Yeah. So
That's right.
it's a lengthy discussion, but
Right.
it's you can't prove it for an individual. You can talk about trends, but you can't rely on it for an individual.
Right.
Oh.
yeah,
right.
well, we know Mayor Guncher is a Kohen because he has a terrible temper.
That's me.
That's also right. Isn't that also like, I guess that's a folktale, right? That
Well,
Kohanim are known for their tempers.
Well, I mean, I'm not, because I'll speak about that, but Baruch Hashem, I've always noticed Mayor to be a very calm, collected type of a person.
Thank you, Rabbi.
All right, let's quit while we're ahead.
Yeah, okay.
He's never gotten angry at me, Barry.
Well, yeah, I know. But he has gotten angry at me. I know that.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah.
More than once.
Maybe it's you.
Yeah.
Let's see the Mishna.
Well, no, I'm a Levi, so there's a certain bond between Levium and Kohanim
It's
that
true.
yeah, you know, we're their servants, so to speak.
Okay. So May Haminyan.
Yeah, they consist of the minion as well. The Kohanim consist of the minion as well.
Okay. Lefisha Kohanim Gam came Biglal Bracha.
Right. They also get the bracha, right? They not only give the bracha, but they also get the bracha as well.
Oh. Midiktiv. Okay, so it's written Va'ani Avar Rachem. And I will bless you.
Meaning,
That's-
ani, I think the ani is a reference to Kadosh Baruch Hu. So
Hashem, yeah.
so Kadosh Baruch Hu is giving out a bracha here as well.
I will
Right.
bless them.
That's all. That's all. Question is the bracha coming from Hashem, or the bracha coming from the Kohanim? That's a whole question to be dealt with at one point, perhaps.
I thought the explanation of why the Kohen does the thing with his hand like this
Yeah,
is that the bracha is
Don't do that.
coming through. That
yeah.
It's like a conduit. That it's
Right.
only from Hashem.
Right.
Yeah, I've heard that too. Yes.
Right. We'll get to that. Right.
And that even that at some point in the past, there used to be a light that came through and it was dangerous. And that's why we got the custom that we don't look.
Right. That's right.
Oh, but that's also why the Kohanim cover their hands when they go up to Duchen. too, I
Exactly.
guess.
Yeah, exactly. That's true.
Mhm.
Right.
No peeking.
Are we up in base now?
We're
We're
in debt, right?
in
Well,
the Mishnah.
Mayor, I didn't know that they don't cover their hands, so because I don't peek.
Okay, very good. Okay, Klomar LeKohanim. Okay. Afilu im rubam Kohanim, and even if the majority of the Kohanim, Gam Kain Shapir Dami, are also Shapir Dami.
It works out okay, meaning even if the robe of the minion, let's say you have 6 Kohanim and you have 4 Yisraelim, so even if the robe of the Kohanim are also there, it also shepherd them, it's okay.
Oh, it's okay. Okay, Van, the Yesh Akopanim Yisrael Echad Shiyane Amen Achar Habirchata Kohen. Oh, but so even if one Yisrael answers Amen to the bracha, I should say
Right.
brachot actually.
Right.
Okay, that's interesting. Oh, here, Uveit HaKnesset Shekula Kohanim, and if the all of the Beit HaKnesset is our Kohanim. Oh, he'll explain it. Lekaman Besif Kaf Hey.
Right. If you want, you can take it. We can jump over. Since you're asking the question, we can jump over there to Sifkaf K, about 7 or 8 pages further on.
Wow. Okay. Okay, Kaf Hey, let's see. Oh, there it is. Okay. So it says in Kaf Hey, everyone have it?
No,
In my volume, it's on
I have it
12.
now.
Okay. Or
Page 12.
Zion. Okay. So Kaf Hey, Beta Knesset Yukula Kohanim. So if everyone in the Beta Knesset's a Kohen, Im Ein Sham Ela Asara Kulam Olam Leduchan. And even if there isn't there 10 of everyone, no.
Only 10.
Only 10, all
Right.
of them go up to Duchen.
Right.
Oh, so that's sort of a concept where when the Kohen Duchens, it's not just to the congregation, it's to all, I guess, Jews.
Right. We'll see.
Ah.
I mention that. The Mechaber is going to mention that. We'll
Oh,
see that in a
okay.
minute.
Oh, yeah, Lamim Varchim, La'acherim, La'achehem.
So the Sodos, to their brothers, to their brethren in the field.
Fields. Yeah. Umioneh acharehem amen. And then they answer afterwards, amen.
No, it's a question. Who answers it? Who answers after them?
Who
Amen.
answers? Oh, Hanashim v'hataf, the women and the children. Wow.
Wow. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Right,
Okay.
And let's say there's no women and children around. What do you do then?
Okay. So v'im yesham yoter me'asara hayiterim me'asara ya'alu v'varchu v'ha'asara onim acherehem amen. Okay, so and if there is more than 10, the remaining 10, the remaining 10 go up and bless the other 10 who answer.
If it happens to be more than 10, so Hayaserim are the ones beyond 10, Yala, Yivarchu, the ones that are beyond the 10 go up, and let's say you have 16. You have 16,
Okay.
you have 16 Kohanim. So 6 Kohanim will go up to Duchen, right? By Sarah, Kohanim Achrayim remain, and 10 remain below, and they answer remain to the bracha of the 6.
Wow.
But what if it's just 10 Kohanim and there's no women and children? We haven't answered that, right?
So take a look at the Mishna Berura in Sadi Tes, Siman Sadi Tet.
Sadi Tet. Oh, in the Mishna Berura, hold on.
Right there on that spot.
Sadi Vav, okay, hold it. Chet Sadi Tet, Hanashim v'hataf. So the women and the children. Rotzel Omar, that is to say, Im Yeshnam Sham, if that's not sleeping, is it?
If they're remaining there, meaning if they happen to have women and children there.
Oh, okay. The Im Einan Sham, and if there aren't there, Gam Kain Nosim Kapehem. So they still go up and Duchen, it looks
Right.
like. The Ainiyat Amen Ein Me'akev et Habracha.
That the Aniyas Amen, the answering of Amen doesn't stop the bracha. So even if you don't have anybody to say Amen to, you still give the bracha.
Oh.
Can I just jump in? I just want to just get one thing. We'll probably get to it at one point, but the situation when you in shul when you're calling up for aliyos, so naturally the Kohen gets called first. Okay,
Right.
right. But I remember a few times in Philadelphia that they had a situation with the bar mitzvah and other things where they it would have worked out better if the Kohanim and the Leviim were not there, and they would just call Yisrael because they had to fit all these visitors in. So so the Kohanim the Kohanim walked out voluntarily. They
Right.
left and went outside voluntarily, except one guy. And he
Okay.
was adamant. He says that you can't give up your aliyah. You're not, the Kohen can't do that. He's not. It's usher to do that.
Right.
He was very, very strong about that. So I wonder
We
what.
had we had a similar situation. The morning minyan, not
Uh-huh.
Shabbos, weekday minyan. There were 3 people who were chiyuvim. They were yard sites, so that you can't ask the Kohanim to leave. But like you said, if they voluntarily leave,
Right.
then after the first person says Baruch Hu, you can come back in apparently.
Right.
So you can hear the laning.
Yeah.
So you've seen it done.
Yeah, I've actually experienced it at a shul.
Yeah. But in our shul, this one guy, he wouldn't do it. He was like furiously adamant,
It's
All
late.
Can't
Okay.
do it. Okay, we'll have to stop now. We'll continue tomorrow, I guess, 9:30, Erev Shabbos. We'll talk about Parshas Noah, Command Hashem.
Amen.
Okay.
Very good.
All right. All the
We
best.
have, we have to check his lineage out, Barry.
Good point.